Hi, I'm Caitlin Carr, and I work for Reasons to Believe in the Visiting Scholar Program. This week, we are joined with Dr. Erica Carlson as our visiting scholar, and today we're going to get to know a little bit more about her. Erica, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, I am a theoretical physicist. That's my job, and I'm a professor of physics at Purdue University. My career path through all of that was that I did my undergraduate work at Caltech, pretty close to your offices here.
Yes.
I did major in physics. It's kind of the weed out major there, but I managed to survive. So I have a bachelor's in physics from Caltech. I did my doctoral work also here in Southern California. I worked at UCLA, and that's where I got my PhD in physics. After that, I went on to Boston University for a postdoc and then came to Purdue as a professor over a decade ago.
And then tell me about your Christian life. When did that start? What caused it to start?
Well,
Where did
I
it begin?
have been a believer for a long time. I became a believer when I was 4 years old, and that was a real, actual conversion. I was, my mother's father is a Baptist minister, Southern Baptist minister, and so she would take us to church, not his church. We didn't live in the same area, although I certainly had the privilege of hearing my granddaddy preach several times. He was really good at it, by the way, just for the record. And it was when I was 4 years old that I committed my life to Christ. And it's the result of Sunday school teachers. So, God bless our volunteers in churches who do that and work with young people. So this particular Sunday school teacher, every week, she was teaching us about Jesus and how much he loves children. And I thought that was great. He loves children. And every week she would ask us, if you wanted to have Jesus in your heart, pray this prayer with me. And of course I wanted Jesus in my heart. I mean, what? He does all these miracles. He loves children. The people who follow him, I could see in my own life that the people who follow him also love children and treat children with dignity. And so I wanted in, and so I invited Jesus into my heart at that age. And in fact, I did it 52 times because she would ask every week, and I didn't know if it stuck last week. It was a few more years before I got assurance of salvation. So then as I grew in my faith, it was when I was 10 years old that I became baptized, and I got serious about growing a relationship with God. And so that's the age at which I began reading the scriptures on a daily basis on my own. I'm not going to say I've read them every day since then, but it's my habit, it's my daily habit. And so at night before bed, I would be reading my Bible. And that year I read through the whole Bible when I was 10, and then over the next couple of years I read through it again, and that's just basically been my habit since then, is to just move that bookmark forward. When I was in high school, my faith is absolutely indebted to an atheist friend that I had in high school, because he wanted to learn about Christianity, and as a young Christian I thought, this is great, my friend is interested in Christ. So we would meet every week. We would meet for breakfast before school, and by the way, he and I would trade places for the top physics student. Okay, so he and I both left high school early in order to go to college. I left a year early to go to Caltech. He left a year early to go to MIT. So he's a smart guy, you might say. Well, he was interested in Christianity, but asking me all these needly questions that I could not answer. And he would say things to me like, Erica, how can you believe this stuff when you haven't thought it through? And he was right. I needed to think it through. And so it was on his behalf that I started really wrestling with some deep questions that he was asking me. And at first it didn't challenge my faith, but then really to enter into the question is to let your faith be challenged. And one of the things I learned at that time is that, hey, take it to God. He loves questions, right? You see the way Jesus interacts with people. He loves questions. And so as a result of taking my questions to God, that scary time became less and less scary as he showed me new things. So I'd say it was foundational to my faith to have my atheist friend challenge me. Now, I thought I had, totally messed everything up by not having all the answers and by giving occasionally wrong answers. But he did eventually become a Christian.